Assalamu alaikum, 1 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Muhammad Munib Hamid. First, the headlines. Election Commission has directed winning candidates in general elections to submit returns of their election expenses. Russian ambassador has lauded Pakistan's contribution in the war against terrorism. In occupied Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh act of terrorism, unabated acts of state terrorism, martyred 21 Kashmiris during last month. The United States has announced to impose 25% tariffs on 6,000 Chinese export items. And now the news in detail. The Election Commission has directed winning candidates in the general elections to submit their returns of their expenses so that notification of their victory could be issued timely. In a statement today, the Commission said the returns should be filed to the returning officers concerned. No candidate has so far submitted details of his election expenses. The Supreme Court has declared null and void the Election Commission of Pakistan's notification regarding postponement of elections on NA60. The court has now ordered by-elections on the seat. The elections were postponed by the ECP following conviction of PMLN candidate Hanif Abbasi in a ephedrine case. Talking to the media persons outside the Supreme Court, Chief of Awami Muslim League Sheikh Rashid Ahmed said the general elections were held in a free environment. He said the people have rejected the old faces. He said those who have objections to election results may contact the relevant institution. Russian ambassador to Pakistan Alexei Dadov has lauded Pakistan's contribution in the war against terror. He was delivering a lecture on Pakistan-Russia relations. Is there a new trajectory in Islamabad today? It was organized by Islamabad Policy Research Institute. The Russian ambassador said Pakistan is facing the challenge of terrorism and it has launched effective operations against the menace. He said there is an understanding between the two countries to enhance bilateral economic cooperation. He said Pakistan and Russia are closely working in different fields, including energy. Alexei Dadov said Russia wants a peaceful Afghanistan. Pakistan Navy ship Aslaad has visited port of St. Petersburg, Russia, according to spokesman for the Pakistan Navy on arrival at the port. Deputy head of Leningrad Naval Base Naval Officers of Russia, Pakistan's ambassador in Russia, and Pakistan's defense attaché warmly received the ship. The mission commander held meetings with the Vice Governor St. Petersburg and Commander Leningrad Base. They discussed professional matters of bilateral interest. Different officials of Russia visited the ship. PNS Aslaad also participated in Russia's Navy Day ceremonies, and it was the only foreign ship attending these ceremonies. The visit will prove helpful in strengthening relationship between naval forces of the two countries and bilateral defense cooperation. In occupied Kashmir, Indian troops in their unabated acts of state terrorism, 21 Kashmiris, including 4 young boys and a woman, during the month of July 2018. According to the data issued by the Kashmir Media Service today, one of those martyred was killed in custody. 310 people were critically injured due to the use of brute force, including firing of bullets, pellets, and tear gas shells by the Indian police and paramilitary personnel on mourners and peaceful demonstrators in the occupied territory. As many as 169 Hurriyat leaders, activists, and youth were arrested. The troops also damaged 46 houses during the period. The United States has announced to impose 25% tariffs on Chinese goods costing $200 billion. Sources told U.S. media that it would risk further escalating tensions between the U.S. and China, in which are already mired in the trade war. The list of 6,000 items to be taxed, including food products, minerals, and consumer goods such as handbags. Swedish ambassador to the UN says the Security Council has failed to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian issue. Speaking at the UN in Washington, Olof Skog said this issue is not one priority of the United Nations and we are very close to another Gaza war. He further said recent events are moving us away from peace in the region, as the United States' decision to move its embassy to Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party has won the parliamentary election with 110 out of 210 seats in the National Assembly, gaining a clear majority according to the Electoral Commission of Zimbabwe. The opposition movement for Democratic Change Party managed to win only 41 seats, with results of 457 seats still to be announced. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.